Alright guys, welcome back to another MCreator tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different, a operator from the math block, which is called min and max. So these two are a little bit different and they're really handy when you need to work with certain values that you need to get the minimum value of two values or the maximum value of two values. I'll also show a couple things that you can do with them to kind of get the range for a certain thing. So let's start with min. Basically, in short, what will happen if you have a minimum value, something like 0 and we'll say 10, basically it's going to look for what is the lowest value in both of these numbers. So in this case, it would be 0. If you have a negative number and something like -1 and 0, it would still be the -1. It doesn't matter what position it's in, it could be the other way around, and it will still act the same way. With max, the other one here is basically going to look for the highest number. So in this case, 0 would be the highest number and -1 would be the lowest number. So 0 would be selected for the highest version. We could have it in a positive number like 10 and 0 like we did before. And we could switch these around and it's exactly the same formula. So 10 will be the one that is selected and the 0 would be the one that isn't. So you might be wondering when these are actually useful, and that's really depends on what you're working with in math. For example, you might need to cap something at a certain height, so you would basically go and say you have a variable here. You could have some sort of variable, and then say you want to cap it at the highest number of something like 256. That's, could be a value for something. And what it's going to do is it's going to look if the minimum value for the variable is lower than the 256. If it's lower than 256, then it's going to be selected. If this is higher than 256, then 256 will be the roof of what it will be actually selected. So it allows you to still use whatever value is dynamic, unlike rounding. Rounding is basically just goes and lowers a specific number down to a certain thing, like a decimal point. So it's not very useful when you are actually working with whole numbers, but these are, so you can actually work with these quite well. The other thing that you might want is a certain range. So in that case, you would have something like, if you wanted to find the minimum value, and then you would go ahead and check for the maximum value. And what you would do here is you would go ahead and do something like this, where minimum, and then you would have your 256, and then your maximum, which would be your 0. And then you would put your variable in this part right here. So what's going to happen with this is you're checking for the maximum being whatever number is higher, your minimum, whatever is lower, and then it's going to basically cap whatever is in the center block between this number and that number. So basically our range would be 0 to 256. And if we had a variable, something that was dynamic, then that's basically what would happen, is it would basically select whatever value is within this range. Now, if it's this variable is over 256, then 256 is selected. If it's under 0, then it will be 0 selected. If it's somewhere within this range, then it will be the variable that is selected. So hopefully this makes a little bit of sense. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, comment down below, rate the video. I have a Discord server if you are looking for a community to actually join and participate with other community members. We have an art channel in there and a few other hobby channels and stuff like that. So it's a pretty good place. Lots of people are growing and it's pretty clean, good environment and stuff like that. So if you're looking for a good community, definitely consider joining. Outside of that, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.